Merry Christmas, AKAPADers. Today is the launch right here, right now, of the 2024 Cinemas, and we're talking Red One from 2024. The best way to pitch this movie, because I feel like I have to pitch it to you. If you love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you will love this movie. It stems from everything that studio had built. Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios developed a methodology and a formula, a way to present new characters and adventure. This movie hits it on all cylinders. This movie's great. This movie has been trashed by the internet. So here we go. The first present for 2024. Red One. AKA Patters. This is exciting. We gotta talk about myself. We gotta talk about this show real quick. As you can tell from that little itty bitty intro, I really dug this movie. So there's no mystery there. But we gotta discuss where I was not long ago at this time in life, where looking back, I don't know how I was too busy or unfocused or undriven enough to where the 31 Days of Dread really bled into January. It took me months to complete those 31 episodes. We're talking weeks between drops here. It took me a year of prep time to figure that out, to figure out what I was doing wrong. But now we're here, a year after that. We've done 31 Days of Dread so well, and I'm talking about Team AKAPAD here, because we have a lot of people that come and go. Just in my living quarters alone, in my production room alone, a lot of people come and go, a lot of conversations. So 31 Days of Dread is extended this year, where we just keep going with the 2024 horror. We've dedicated to 2 Cinemas episodes drops a day starting today. Just to spoil it, coming up is going to be Fat Man. We're doing back-to-back Christmas action movies. Lore building action movies, by the way. We've successfully completed a round of Thanks Flicking, and all systems are go. For this year, we rolled in animation weekends, and we've been hitting releases as they've been available on stream. Alien Romulus, we were on top of Joker. And what we haven't done is more episodes on just, I would say, like BuzzFeed level clickbait. Top 10 things, my favorite of things, discussing articles, news, and books. That's the big hole of the Film Buff podcast. So going into this coming year, that's going to be the target. Now, a lot of you out there, you'd like to ask me, because I get this question often, when will I have independent filmmakers on? When will I sit down? When will I sit down with people? Like, will this show grow other than what it is? Here's the wild thing. If you go to the origin of the feed, wherever feed you're catching, because we're available everywhere, you'll see that was the attempt that led me to do a solo show. And one of the reasons why I do a solo show is I can record parts of the episodes, I can record segments, I can record way in advance. The assistance I need to complete things is far less than relying on another individual to be well informed and to also be a good performer. This was the struggle. I will always go back to Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok literally was the Ragnarok that took apart this original podcast. Back then it was called Dreamweavers or Dream Warriors. Based on one of the Frank Darabont Nightmare on Elm Street. But we're here, and we're growing. There's just a lot of interaction now. It's hard to keep up with all of it. But so many of you have found this show, this podcast, for the first time this year. And look, I'm a dude that grew up with a speech impediment, no college, no training in anything you see from me. And, we rock and roll. We do a lot of heavy lifting, as I like to say. Because I know how to manage my time. I put a lot of time into time management. I don't work off of a list. I work off of a checklist every single day. Same items are on that checklist every single day. But these are things I even wanted to do for YouTube that I haven't been able to get to yet. We have to talk about Jake Kasdan. This is our director. Because in 1998, he wrote and directed one of the great forgotten movies of the 90s. Ben Stiller was in two bangers at this time. One of them was Zero Effect, and the other one was Permanent Midnight. Jake Kasdan is the mind and the producer. He did all the major things you gotta do to get a movie together in Zero Effect. He's director of Orange County. We'll be talking about Jack Black later. Because he's in a movie called Dear Santa by the Farleys, and that's incredible. So Kasdan, director, Orange County. Orange County is one of the great college road trip movies. The TV set 2006. Not familiar with this one. Walk Hard, Dewey Cox. I'm not joking, AKAPAD. Writer, director, producer. Walk Hard, Dewey Cox has now become a meme and part of the clip sharing content in one of my football group chats. We love this movie. We quote it all the time. We share clips of it and gifs of Walk the Line all the time. Shades of Ray. Not too familiar. Bad Teacher. Director of Bad Teacher. Here's the wild thing, right? Bad Teacher jump-started a franchise. It is a type of movie. I believe there's Bad Moms Christmas. Maybe that's coming for cinemas. Made a movie called Sex Tape, another movie with Cameron Diaz. Not 100. I may have seen it. But here we go. We have a true tour de force from 2017 and 2019. This is your director. This is the guy that really made Jumanji something. The Jumanji movies, as stated as fact on this podcast, are incredible movies. No cap, those are facts. Jumanji is one of the great reboots, reintroductions of a concept of a franchise. I kind of like the sound of that we've seen. I would put this with the Friday the 13th reboot and the Tron Legacy reboot, or Tron reboot for Tron Legacy. Some people might say, "Whoa, what about Batman Begins?" Yeah, I get that, but Jumanji really brought things to another level. The sequel, the follow-up, the next level that he also produced and wrote is there. And then we have Red One. Our writer, Chris Morgan. Cellular. I love Cellular. Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Wanted. Fast and Furious. Fast 5. Fast 6. The forgotten, underrated 47 Roman. The best of the franchise. Furious 7. Producer of the Vatican tapes. I believe I may have seen that. Fate of the Furious. Producer of Tom Cruise's The Mummy. That's a great movie, guys. Writer-producer coming up again Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. He's writer. Here we go. Maybe the one movie we really didn't like, that we couldn't finish watching, that we brought up so far. Shazam! Fury of the Gods. And then here we go, writing Red One. He's got TV credits, other credits. So we got two guys in the mix in the industry of Hollywood kicking ass. Then we have Red One. Red One cost roughly between $200 and $250 million. The box office is $175 million. This movie looks and feels, just from the cast, just from the optics, just from the special effects. The cast alone is deep. The effects and the optics are ambitious, are huge. We have a complete lore building action movie. Chris Evans is fantastic. I don't know why. I just see so many people say Chris Evans isn't good in any movie, where he was great in the Gray Man, the Netflix Ryan Gosling movie. He's good in that. I mean, Chris Evans is a good effing actor. I don't understand where we're coming from with this. The Rock is just so perfect. Dwayne Johnson is just perfect as Santa's bodyguard. We love The Rock in these roles. I love The Rock in these roles. He literally fights giant snowmen. The gimmick is you gotta take off the carrot. You can kill him. We have, we have giant polar bears, and even the giant polar bears don't measure up against The Rock. I love his design. He has a very, very much of a Marvel Cinematic Universe design for his bodyguard suit. So I don't know, aka Powders. I thought this movie was so there. You see the experience and you feel the Hollywood in the movie, which is no different than what we would get with the later films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's a Marvel style. These guys are replicating that style, and part of that Marvel style is the Fast and Furious style. I know that's a broad platitude statement. We say that a lot, but I think I don't know, like, just who would you watch this movie with? I would just watch this movie with people that I want to share the holiday with. I'm coming over tonight. I got a 6-pack. I got a pack of Doritos. We're watching The Rock and Santa Claus. Like, we're watching Captain America being a POS in this movie, and to later have a absolutely silent conversation. You have to wait till the end on Santa's sleigh, having a conversation where he has his come to Jesus moment. This movie is fantastic. I've seen clips where people bash this movie for using acronyms. I don't know why. Part of the trope of this type of approach, and a lot of it came from like Arthur's Christmas, the stop and go animated one, where like the elves are they're almost like Ethan Hunt's. They're just Tom Cruise's in Mission Impossible. The deconstruction and the explanation and the way that we lean into the lore a lot of times is part of the fun. Is the way that they use, for example, reindeers in this movie. Reindeers are used in the very much the same way how the eagles, the birds, were used at the end of Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. They come in, they save the day. We have a head nod. We're different. A head nod where we have different ideologies between Santa and Krampus. And Krampus comes in at the end to save the day. Because the witch in this movie, the played by Korean Shipka, I can never say her name, the girl from Mad Men. She's in a lot of movies recently. She's the villain in this. She's incredible. She's a Christmas witch that is as deadly. And maybe we go back to Thor Ragnarok to what's her name? To Hela from Thor Ragnarok. She's that, her character, not exactly carbon copies, but very similar. And I think it's good. I think it's good when, I say this a lot, when we have movie tropes to guide us through the film. This movie deserves a sequel. It deserves to be a franchise. It deserves a really cool action figure line. And it deserves to get kids involved in film and to following a franchise. I don't know, AKAPAD. I can't think of another franchise-worthy Christmas movie than Red One, which is why it's number one this year. I feel this movie got a really bad rap. I feel like the arguments against this movie, like I said, I've seen clips on TikTok about people making fun of the acronyms in this movie. Like that's a bad thing. To where we have to sound like we're critics, so we have to nitpick and criticize and play dumb about a lot of things. That's what we talk about this. This is modern film criticism. This movie deserves all of your attention. It's available on Amazon Prime. I'm sorry it has Dwayne Johnson, but he is perfectly cast. He's perfect in this movie. Lucy Liu is perfect. Santa Claus, J.K. Simmons, Whiplash, come on, baby. He's in this movie. So what else do you need? I don't understand how people act like these movies don't have big stories and big resolutions and big character arcs and are character focused. This is a lot of this movie too, is Santa just finding himself, which we see a lot. Santa uses this trial, this tribulation, to even dig in a little bit deeper into the holiday. Great character arcs. Is our Christmas action movies, do we know the endings? Yes, because you cannot kill Santa at the end. You just can't do it. So we know the endings of all these action movies we're going to talk about this coming year. Isn't that wild? And we still get a thrilling experience. I don't know, AKAPADers. I thought this movie was incredible.